Okay.
Oh my God,
No, I'm gonna stop.
You good?
You just completely stole our moment. Which
No,
one?
come on then.
This was right. This is our baby,
Don't
and
worry
the
about it.
gentleman. No, it's not like I'm worried. I just want to address it because I don't think this was right.
I'm excited that you're having your birthday.
Understand? Well, you
Yes,
didn't
it
allow him
is
to
exciting.
hug me. I'm his
Pardon?
wife. You didn't allow him to hug me.
Yeah,
Are you sure every day? Like, what's the problem?
Yes, look, we just found out we're gonna have a little baby girl.
It's fine, it's fine, it's
And
fine.
I just told you that it's my first
Stop,
granddaughter
you
as well. Like,
yourself, Paddy.
No,
Right?
no.
Crazy.
Come on, everyone's happy. Come on, let's.
no, I didn't mean it, no. Go on.
I don't.
So wrong when you look into her eyes and all you really see is your mom. Oh, 'cause you're a mama's boy, mama's boy.
Hey guys, think of this as a PSA. Any ladies out there, and guys too, this message is for the guys, but mainly ladies, I'm giving y'all a warning about guys. I've talked about promiscuous men a few times, and how they're a bunch of douchebags who want to fuck around, right? They just want to screw around, but they expect the woman that they get involved with to be a virgin or whatever they like to think or say. And this is like semi-related, but if you're thinking about dating or thinking about marrying, get with a guy who isn't hung up on his mother, who isn't on his mother's titties still, like, because you're going to be competing with his mother directly, and you're not going to like it. You're going to get resentful. You're going to lose respect for your man, your boyfriend, your whatever, your future husband, fiance. And if you're already in that situation, you probably know what I'm talking about already, and you hadn't really thought about it until now. But there's a lot of dudes, a lot of guys right now still hung up on their moms, and they just can't let go. Their mother is controlling them, and they don't even realize it. They don't realize the destruction that causes with the children. When the guy has a mom who's overbearing and wants to be involved in their grandchild's life at all times, it's a mess. Okay, it's a mess. And I didn't have that situation, but I can already tell you it's a mess because I've seen it too often to not know. And my wife and my daughter are very lucky that I got away from my crazy mom, and she wasn't that bad, right? But what I'm saying is, they kind of, especially my wife, she kind of takes it for granted that she didn't experience that crazy mother-in-law, that weak-ass husband who is just attached to his mother, and she has to compete with his mom for attention. Same goes for the children. The children get spoiled by the grandmother, and it's just a disaster. And my wife hasn't had to experience that. She's got no frame of reference, but she takes it for granted because she still kind of thinks that my daughter was deprived of a grandmother in some weird way. And I understand her point, like I truly do, because on the outside, right, on the physical level, it seems like she was missing out on something, right, my daughter. But this is spiritual, right? Everything is spiritual, everything's metaphysical. And on the spiritual nature of it, she avoided a train wreck, okay? Like, keeping my mother away from my daughter and my wife was the best thing that ever happened to them, and they don't even realize it. They have no clue. They have zero fucking clue of the disaster that I avoided, that they avoided, thanks to me, right? I'm not trying to like brag. I'm just saying they have no clue. They have zero clue. And this is just a warning, guys, because I just dealt with 2 customers in a row, 2 old guys. One was a younger boomer, meaning I think he was born 71. That makes him a young boomer. And another guy born 76. I asked him what year they were born. We're just kind of bullshitting around and talking, right? And the younger guy, not the younger guy, the older guy, is still living with his mom, like still hung up on his mom. buying shit for her. In the store, buying shit for her. Like, they're fucking married, dude. This is sick, okay? This is like incest. This is disgusting, alright? Like, men like that aren't respectable. Like, men nowadays aren't respectable, like, at all. And I'm saying this for another reason as well, because I was bullshitting with them in the parking lot for a few minutes. And they're cool guys. I got no problem with them personally. But I was standing in the parking lot for a minute or two, kind of fucking around with them. And the guy, the older boomer guy, what the hell did I run over? The older boomer guy starts bragging about the young women he sleeps with, the young girls he sleeps with. I don't mean young as in, you know, they're adults, I hope. And it's funny about these two is that the younger guy is a bail bondsman, a black guy, big black dude. And the older guy is Caucasian, kind of redneck, cowboyish type, who's a former bounty hunter. And I remember that about them. And I was fucking around with them. They were both in line at the same time, and I said, I pointed at the bail bondsman. It's like, hey, he's not a client of yours, is he? Kind of fucking around, you know? You know how you fuck around with your boys, right? Just shit talking. And it's like, hey, you sure this dude isn't a client of yours? You know, just messing around, like, and all that, and kind of fucking laughing about that or whatever. And despite the autism, you know, I know how to bullshit with dudes, okay? And I'm not faking it. I like these guys, okay? I thought it was funny, that's why I said it. But anyway, I'm bullshitting with these guys, and he's kind of bragging about the young girls he sleeps with. Like, man, it keeps happening, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all, the same fucking shit, the same mythology, the same generational curse keeps happening. The same douchebag fucking asshole attitude this guy has about sleeping around with young girls, and he's still a mama's boy. Do y'all see a pattern here? I talked about that other dude, one of my videos, another guy where he was they're all loudmouths. Why are they all loudmouths? Just bragging about the girls they sleep with, and then have the audacity to talk about how they want to marry a virgin. Like, what the fuck? What is this? This shit keeps happening, and it's like no judgment, okay? But it's like they're literally like laying out. They're laying out their whole lives in front of me, and just these few sentences, you know what I mean? Like, and this other guy, oh my god, this is a mess, okay? The big black guy, okay? He bought a box of chocolates. He just wanted a few, supposedly, right? This is a stupid fucking story he told. And there's a young girl that I was working with. When I say young, she's like in her mid-20s. I think she's 25, black girl. She's okay looking. She's a skinny black girl. She's nice, you know, everybody's nice. He buys these chocolates and he eats a few at the register. He's just kind of talking to us, right? Because he's a bail bondsman. He's the local bail bondsman guy that kind of just comes in, buys drinks, and leaves. And, you know, he has his gun on his hip and he likes to fucking show that off. So he's one of those guys, okay? This bounty hunter dude's the same way. So there's two peas in a pod. Two peas in a pod, those two. The wacky guys. Fucking nut jobs. Look at these fucking wacky dudes. Anyway, with their open carry. I love these idiots. Anyway, so the guy buys chocolates. He eats a few at the register, right? And he offers us some. He offers her some and me some, right? Didn't think much of it. And then I realized that after a while, and this dude has a daughter, right? I don't know if he's still married, but I know he has a young daughter. She's like 9 or 10, because he's talked about her and how he's training her how to fire a firearm and all that, how to fire a gun. Takes her to the shooting range and all that, which is great. I think that's great. Be a dad, you know, and all that. But at the same time, as he's leaving, he gives my cashier some chocolates and walks off. He gives them to me, actually. He gives the box to me and tells me to give them to her. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll give them to her. So I tell the girls, like, after they left, like, hey, he left these for you. He's like, oh, she was like, oh, I don't fucking want those. She didn't cuss, but she was like, I don't fucking want those. Like, I don't know why this dude's hitting on me and all that. And I didn't realize. That's when I realized, like, oh, he's hitting on her. So, you know, apparently I didn't realize that until she said it. It's like, oh god, it makes total sense. And then he comes back in and starts explaining to her why he left the chocolates. Complete fucking, like, simp, in my opinion. It's like, dude, that's pathetic. Like, could you stop it? Could you just fucking stop? And anyway, So he's talking. He finally leaves. She throws the chocolates away. She didn't want them. Okay, I didn't want them. Whatever. So he leaves, and they're still out in the parking lot fucking around, right? And the store is empty because we just got through closing, and my mind's racing. Okay, because I want to ask her so bad if she has a boyfriend, and I was gonna be like, I warn her about these dudes that are hung up on their mothers. I was like, I want to say it so bad, like my golly, I don't know how to explain it, like the vibrations are going crazy because I want to talk about it so bad. I just can't help myself. And finally I caved in. It's like, hey, I said her name. It's like, hey, we'll say Janet. Hey, Janet, do you have a boyfriend? So I know we don't talk about these things, but do you have a boyfriend? She's like, oh no, I don't mess with all that. Like, I don't date. It's just and long story short, she basically said it's a mess, dating and stuff. And I don't really fucking blame her, you know? But, so, and I start getting into it about what I just said. I'm like, look, just a weird, I told her, this is gonna seem weird. I'm just saying this out of the blue, but I'm just warning you about, I just want to give you like a warning about dudes. If you date guys, make sure they're not hung up on their mothers. And she gave me a look like, huh? Like, what do you mean? She was curious, and I was like, because, and I'll explain, it's like these dudes that are hung up on their mothers, the woman or the wife or the girlfriend or whatever ends up competing with the mom for the guy's attention, and it's just a mess. And she looked at me kind of shocked, like, oh wow, that. Then she said, like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. I never thought of it that way. It's like, wow, Rudy, you're like, I never thought of that. That's interesting. And I was basically telling her my situation, all that with my wife and daughter, and how it can be just a disaster when you have a dude who's really weak and he's still just hung up on his mom, a mama's boy, right? She said mother's boy. It's like, yeah, that's it. That's totally it. It's a trope, right? It's like a trope. It's a trope for a reason. And we got into that for just a little bit, right? I wanted to keep going so bad. I just left it at that. I just said, and she brought this up. She brought it up where she was like, you know what? It's really interesting you say that, because I never had. You're the first person I ever had tell me something like that. And then she kind of got into that. She's never really had like a father in her life, a father figure in her life, tell her things like this. She says she's really glad that I'm kind of trying to warn her as a dad, right? As a dad and as a guy, as a man. Just trying to warn her about how other dudes are. And I think she took that to heart, and I told her, and she was like, you know what, I noticed that with guys as well. It's really interesting you say that. She's basically said, I noticed that about guys that are kind of like mama's boys. They're just kind of, she didn't say weak, but basically saying they're weak. And I was like, yeah, just I'm just, you know, like I said, I know it's weird that I'm saying this all out of the blue, but I'm just trying to tell you because I'm a father. It's like, I'm a guy. I know how guys think. It's beyond that, okay? It's not just about knowing about guys, how guys think. I really understand this spiritual nature of this, and this metaphysical, this Adam and Eve mythos that's still playing out. I understand that, maybe not to a T, but I understand it, okay? So, I'll just let her keep thinking it's because I'm a dad, okay? That's part of it. It's not the total story. That's not the whole story. But anyway, guys, so this, just to wrap it around, like, these dudes who, and they were both hitting on her, the little bounty hunter guy and the bail bondsman guy, in their own weird way, like, flirting with her, you know what I mean? And it's just, I don't think anger is the right word, but frustration, like, and I wanted to get into it with her so bad, basically saying, I wanted to say so bad, but I kept it to myself. I was like, guys and gals, like men and women, really just need to stay the hell away from each other and work on themselves, and get in their corners of the ring for a while, and just dig deep and just keep to themselves for a bit and learn about themselves before they get wrapped up with another human being. Because guys are so weak right now, and women and girls are so confused right now. I think that's what's really going on. I think girls are just confused right now about this man and woman thing, this boyfriend thing, this dating thing, like, and it's this fucking dude's generation, you know, the boomers who are like just sleeping around, and that's the only, like, that's the archetype, right? That's the that's the example. That's the animus figure, the father figure, the only male figure we got is this kind of douchebag asshole sleeping around with girls, and the women are just following that. They're just following that archetype because they're searching for the father. Like this young girl who didn't have a father, you know, and didn't have a father to tell her these things. And again, like, my daughter's gonna take it for granted, and that's fine. She's gonna take it for granted that she has a dad that's kind of warning her about the animus and the mythos, right? I don't really put it in those terms, but I'm warning her about dudes. I'm warning her about guys. I'm warning her about mothers and fathers and this mommy trauma. But anyway, I don't know, man. I don't know what compelled me, and it's so funny because I told myself, like, especially recently, that never tell yourself stuff. Like, I told myself, Rudy, just shut up. Stop talking about this stuff with strangers, you know, especially your coworkers. It's like, dude, just be quiet and don't talk about this stuff because you're going to get in trouble. You're going to fuck up in some way. And I was like, oh my God, like itching, like palms sweaty, mom spaghetti. Like, I just wanted to say something so bad. It's like, I got to say it. Like, I just have to ask. I have to ask this girl if she has a boyfriend, because I just felt compelled to, like, warn her, like, please stay away from these mama's boys, because it's not working, dude. Like, you're gonna be miserable if you get with a guy who's hung up on his mom. And that's it. that's mom. That's all I had to say. Anyway, y'all, take it easy. Bye-bye.
You're thinking about your